This episode of Hull of a Road Trip finds us hanging out with friends in high places. The Mile High City, that is. On our drive to see Mark, Catherine, Carson, and Manuka, a fitting song came on.
Sing it, Mark!
Mark's favorite karaoke tune.
Woo!
This certainly made for a fun 3.5 minutes of driving. To split up the drive, we hung out with a Yeti in Maxwell, New Mexico, at the Maxwell National Wildlife Refuge in Lake 13 Dispersed Camping.
Why, every time I turn around?
Kelly's latest friend appeared to be a garden variety wolf spider. Safely relocating Wolfie, we had a chance to look around our new surroundings. Maxwell Wildlife Refuge is approximately a 2,200-acre migratory bird mecca. We hadn't realized we were hitting it at peak season. Instead of watching birds, Stormy was more interested in playing with zebra. Dusk quickly set in, and before we knew it, we were back on the road and Stormy was back in his spot. While leaving Maxwell, we noticed a herd of cows with one out of place. And the theme of double humps continued as we traveled north. Before we knew it, we'd reached Colorado.
Colorado sure is beautiful so far. How's the driving?
Oh, just lovely.
We survived the drive and went to Cherry Creek State Park in Denver.
Do you remember Manuka? Do you want to go see her? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Real.
For real. Let's go see her. Come on. No, other way.
Who is it over there? It's Manuka and Catherine.
Daddy, sweet girl. You noticed Daddy?
Hello.
Is that a friend?
Manuka is Stormy's best friend since he was a puppy, and he was thrilled to see her again. They did some synchronized sniffing, and then Manuka showed Stormy how to do agility. Stormy was very confused, and soon a good old case of the zoomies kicked in. With some energy out of him, it was time for him to meet Carson, the latest addition.
Is that a baby? Oh, love. I'm just going to sit and kiss you.
That night it was time to go through a 1.5 months mail and packages. The next day we went for a hike to St. Mary's Glacier. This is in Arapahoe National Forest in Idaho Springs, Colorado. A beautiful spot. The hike takes you to St. Mary's Lake at the basin of the glacier, or at least where there usually was a glacier. We decided to take advantage of this photo opportunity, and Manuka decided to photobomb it. All the divas got their moment. Then it was time to get back on the trail and up the mountain. Manuka and Catherine forded the river. Stormy and I took the bridge. The higher we got, the more breathtaking the views were. Our little pack continued onward and upward until we reached the glacier, or what was left of the glacier. Although mostly receded, the pups still had a blast.
Are you on a glacier?
Good boy, Vasa.
The ladies showed off their mutt rucks, and we paused on the way down for one more photo op. Then the kids took a final splash around the lake. By the time we got back to Mark and Catherine's, Stormy was done. The adults sampled a few beverages and Carson hit the bottle. Then Mark and Catherine introduced us to crumble cookies. Oh. The next day we burned off the cookies with a walk around the park. And the pups got to splash in a creek. Back at the house, Stormy and Manuka spotted something along the fence.
Yep. Good sit watch.
The fearless hunters then took a break while the adults got ready to go out. Kelly and Catherine stopped at a craft store for quilting supplies, while Mark and I headed to the brewery with Carson. Bear Brewing had a really cool decor and a very good black IPA. Then it was off to a store for Stormy to get a pedicure and some treats.
Are you at Aunt Catherine's shop, Loyal Biscuit?
After visiting the LBC of Denver, it was off to Station 26 Brewery, where we enjoyed conversation, a couple of flights, and kettlehead popcorn. Yum. Our final and fitting stop in our brew tour was Denver Beer Co. The next day, Kelly, Catherine, and Carson, accompanied by Stormy and Manuka, headed out for a hike to Red Rocks Amphitheater. The rock formations and views looked pretty spectacular. They enjoyed a nice trail, more beautiful rock formations, and came across a slumbering mule deer buck. Everyone enjoyed a much-deserved break in the shade. Later on the trail, they were pleasantly surprised when a small herd of does crossed the trail just in front of them. They finished off the hike, and the cute couple paused for a photo. That evening, we had our final visit of the trip, and I got a little bit of Carson time.
Man, that exercise stuff was tough. Let's go again. Woo! Dude, keep me bouncing, man.
While a slightly punch-drunk Stormy rifled through Manuka's toys. Before adding the Denver sticker to Seymour, we decided the magpie should be the state bird.
Here we go.
Colorado.
Colorado. It's filling up.
Isn't there?
Until next time, friends, we were back on the road, headed to Boyd Lake State Park in Loveland, Colorado. We wedged ourselves into our site and headed out for a walk. Like everywhere else we'd been traveling, the water levels were very low at Boyd Lake. Stormy didn't seem to mind this because the beaches were just that much bigger. We caught a pretty incredible moonrise that night. Then we were back on the road for a couple days in Crow Valley Recreation Area in Pawnee National Grasslands. The park had a really nice educational area, and we were able to take a look at some old farm equipment. The next day we drove further into the grasslands and toward the windmills until we reached Pawnee Buttes Trailhead.
It's like a puzzle. And we figured it out.
Got it.
As we got further in, it was amazing that this whole area used to be flat a million years ago. Over time, nature has carved out an otherworldly landscape. And let's face it, I like big buttes, and I cannot lie. Stormy was a little disappointed when he found out that the giant pupcake he'd been walking towards was just a rock. Before completing the hike, we decided to let Stormy go off leash for a little while. This was a huge treat for him. Eventually, he was back on the leash as we waved goodbye. The next day, we were back on the road and headed north to Nebraska. See you there.